In this last part of the movie, we are going to make our navigation navigable, and we are going to break that or copy that page a couple more times and make 3 separate pages. Alright, so let's see how we can do that. First of all, right here, I said we were going to structure these so that they're links, and links are the A tag. And so in order to do that, I'm going to come down here and just select the word home. I'm going to make sure in my properties panel I'm looking at HTML, and then I have my insert, not my insert, but my files panel open so I can see my index page right here. So this is a little shortcut. With this selected, down in the properties panel, where it says link here, there's a little bullseye. And if I click, hold, and drag that over to index and let go, it'll type that in for me. And that's all I need to do. So over here it's named this P tag an A href, which is this is a link, and this is saying that this is what it's going to link to. Okay, so for the other ones we don't have anything that we can shoot at, but we know kind of what it's going to be called when we have those pages made. So about, and make sure that you do this right, .html, and then hit enter, and you can see that it's changed my code over here. It's also put an underline and changed the color of that, and we'll change all that in a minute. And for the last one here, down here, I'm going to type in contact.html and then hit enter. Okay, so I don't have the pages yet, but I've fooled this into thinking that those pages exist, so this looks like what it's supposed to look like. Next, we're going to style these links, and I'm going to go here and pick this. If I click in here, I'm looking for this nav P and A. That's what we're going to style. So in styles, new selector, let's get properties out of the way, new selector, and see it says nav space P space A. That is a descendant selector that says anytime you see this A inside of a paragraph, inside of navigation, this is what I want you to do. Now, links are special, navigation links are special. They're a pseudo selector, and what we're going to do here, and you need to type this correctly, is add a colon. There's several different states of links. There's visited and hover and active, and we're going to address 4 of those. Right now we're going to type in link, which is what it will look like when nothing's happening to it. Link, and then I'm going to do a comma. I'm going to type the same thing over again because I really want the visited state to look the same. So if I go to this page and come back to the page, it will look the same as it did before. So make sure you add those spaces in there, and I'm going to pick visited from right here. Okay, so I have nav PA colon link comma space nav PA colon and visited. I'm going to hit enter, and that is going to be decorated thusly. Let me get these up out of the way. Okay. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to change the width. Yes, it has a width, and I'm going to make it the same as the box. So I'm going to double click here and type 100, and then I'm going to hit enter. And next I'm going to change the color, and I just want to pick a background color that's a little darker than this right here already. So if I click this, I might be able to come out here and click this now. Not going to happen. My color is about here, and I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'll go this direction and hit return, and you can see some color in the background of these. You don't see the width coming out there yet, so what I need to do is add the float left. The float left thing is kind of magic. If I come down here, and I'll find it right under here, it kind of makes everything work, even things you don't think it'll make work. But there you go. If in doubt, try a float left and see if that doesn't fix everything. Okay, I want to add a little padding at the top and the bottom. So I'm not going to link these together, but I'm going to pad, let's see, I think 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom, and I want a little space between them, so that is margin, and I want to do that at the top and the bottom too. 6 pixels here and 6 pixels here, and that puts a little space between our navigation. So the other thing I want to do with text is I want to make sure it's not decorated. So under text down here where it says decoration, no decoration, that's that underline that you see, so it'll get rid of that. I'm going to pick a font family, same as before, the Gotham font family. I'm going to change the color of my text to be white, so zip it right up there. And then I also want it to float in the center, so that's back under this property here, and it should be under a text align. Oh, maybe it's here. See, I'm still learning. Text align right here, and we'll put it in the center. So that centers all my text right here. And that is all I'm going to do for that. Okay? Now we have the way the text looks like when you haven't rolled over it or when you've come back from another page. And I am going to now duplicate this guy. So right here, this rule, I am going to right-click or control-click and say duplicate. And then I'm going to change these names. Link is going to become active, or I can just click on it right there, and this one's going to be hover. Okay, so active and hover. Active means that hover means you're rolling over it, and active means you're rolling over it and pressing the mouse button down. So now I need to change the rule for that, and all I'm going to do is change the background color to be a little bit darker. So if I go to the background and make that just a little bit darker and say return, when we go to live, we should see those activate. Okay, so I'm getting the finger because it's a link now, it's an A tag, and I'm getting that change because I have a rule that says when I roll over it, change that background color. All right, so far so good. Now, so far we have put all of our CSS inside of our HTML document, and I want to move that out of here so that when I split these pages up into 3, I can have that CSS affect all 3 pages. So here's how I'm going to do that. Under sources, I'm going to do a new source, and in this case I'm going to say create new CSS file. It's the top one, trust me on that. And I'm going to call it bob.css. And I'll say OK. Now, Bob CSS, what we just did here, I should be able to see it underneath all this stuff. I have so much stuff going on over here now. Let's just go to code view. Right here. Right now it says OK. We are going to reference right in the head of this document. We're going to reference this Bob CSS. So really all I have to do now is, let me float that down here, is take all my styles, so I can select all these, shift select them all, and I'm going to move them from here into Bob and then let them go. And now you can see they're gone. They're gone from my document, but now this link, in fact, I don't even need this style thing anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of it. You can see it disappears from here. My link is right here in the top, so it says go look here. And if I look at the top here, I can see that, oh, there it is now. So all those guys got moved right over here. So whenever you have something open that has a link to an outside document, the documents show up here as well, which is really nice. So now that asterisk appears here on the HTML page and on this page, which means I have unsaved changes. So I'm going to go under File and Save All, which saves all of the open documents that have changes made to them. Okay, so new, I'm going to save this as, right now, let me look at the files. Under Files, let me get rid of this. Okay, under Files, I just have my Bob CSS and index HTML right now. So if I go File, Save As, any second now, I should get a dialog that says File, Save As, here we go, About HTML, and save it. It makes a new link here. I'm going to call this about. And then I'm also going to save, file save, and it shows up over here. Okay, so good. Now I'm going to do another save as, and this time it's going to be contact. And I'm going to change this to contact. And I'm going to save that page. And it shows up over here. So I have contact HTML, about, I have all three of my pages and my CSS here. Okay, last thing I need to do is I need to go into the design mode, and where it says contact, I want to make sure that that says contact, because it's no longer the home page. Oh, that was good. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the about page and look at the design mode and make that say about. And so I have index, which is my home page, my about page, and my contact page. And I'm going to do a file save all. Now even in live view, it won't let me link between these three things. So I'm going to have to look at it in an external web browser, and that's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to go out. We're going to say File, Preview in Browser. I'm going to use Firefox. And we shall see what we see. Shrink this down. Okay. So what we have here is the contact page. So if I click on Home, I should go to the Home page, About, the About page, and Contact, the Contact page, just like it was supposed to. The other thing I see is the top here. See how it changes the name? When we change the name, it says Home here, and then About, and then Contact. So the rollover isn't working, so I shall have to go figure out what happened to the rollover. Bad. No, it is not working. Back to the here. Okay, I think I figured out what happened. When I cut all these rules out of the style sheet that was embedded in my HTML and dropped them into Bob, somehow these two rules got switched in order, which means that the top one is being overwritten by the bottom one. So it goes back to this lighter color, and so it never really changes. If I change the order, that's why they call these cascading. The lower they are on this list, the more they'll overwrite the ones that come before it. I will move this one down under it, and now it works again. Okay, and because I changed this one in my the order that they come in my Bob CSS, it'll work for all the pages now. So if I do a save all, and then we'll do a preview in browser. There we go, now it's working. So there's home, there's about, and there's contact. Wonderful. Okay, I hope this helped, and we'll see you next time.